went to police. Justin Andrews spoke with a parent. Our Justin Andrews joins us now live. Justin Andrews is live in Cedar Rapids on scene with Justin Andrews was inside that meeting tonight. Joined us now live. And Justin, big question. Why was the discussion postponed in the first place?
Well, Amanda, first let me tell you that it was postponed in a 4-3 vote. Why? Because some board members say they needed more time to review those attendance zones maps, and that left some outraged. Amanda, unsafe and ill-equipped. That's how Johnson County residents I spoke with tonight described these roads, all in the same Cedar Rapids neighborhood. Now, there's a police car that's passing me right now. At this point, we don't know why they're passing, but within the last few minutes, I've seen at least 2 to 3 police officers pass. I've had my fair share of them, and let me tell you, they can bug you. There's really nothing you can do about it, but one thing I can tell you, they're annoying, especially around water.
With the very latest on the investigation, Justin.
Yeah, Ron, 3 shootings, 2 injured, and tonight police still haven't made a single arrest. Now, that first shooting happened on Saturday. Tonight, though, police are asking for your help if you know anyone involved in this fight or witnessed the fight on these winter weather conditions, online, on air, and always on our mobile app.
Our Justin Andrews continues to follow the latest developments in this decision. Joins us now live in Iowa City. And Justin, once again, parents are left to wait and wonder about where their children will end up in the fall.
Yeah, good evening, Amanda. After tonight's meeting, some parents are pleased with the school board's decision. They say they shifted their focus, and by that, the company is kicking tobacco sales to the curb. Again, if you have any information on any of those shootings in Cedar Rapids, you're urged to call the Cedar Rapids Police Department. Our
Justin Andrews spoke with the family, joined us now live in Iowa City. And Justin, you watched parts of that unsettling video.
That's right, Amanda, I did. I watched parts of that video, and let me tell you, it's downright disturbing. But this Iowa City family telling me tonight that the negligence of that school bus attendant nearly cost them their daughter's life. These images capture the moments Bradley Caldall will never forget.
He said that there had been an accident on my daughter's bus. Wheelchair flipped over onto her face, covered with blood. She had a laceration up on her forehead. Her mouth was all cut open. She had a tooth that was busted in half.
His then 13-year-old quadriplegic cerebral palsy daughter, Samantha, injured after a Durham school bus service employee failed to properly secure the back of her wheelchair while on the bus.
Parents were terrified about our child, and you guys are a company that's out there to transport children. I mean, that's your responsibility.
Caldall tells me to add insult to injury, the bus company who contracts with the Iowa City School District downplayed the whole incident.
They basically marginalized it, minimized it, and we were left to kind of figure out what all happened and how serious the accident was.
He says the last 2 years have been full of agony. Durham School Services have yet to cover any medical cost or wheelchair replacement. That's why he filed a lawsuit.
This is a child. This is not your business. This is my daughter. Take advantage of my daughter with disabilities. I find that absolutely reprehensible.
Live in Cedar Rapids on scene with the very latest, Justin.
Good evening, Ron and Amanda. That you're exactly right. This is the same area that the shots were fired a couple days ago. In fact, it's been 3 shots fired incidences in the last 3 days, all in the same Cedar Rapids neighborhood. Now, there's a police car that's passing me right now. At this point, we don't know why they're passing, but within the last few minutes, I've seen at least 2 to 3 police officers pass. Now, this is what I've been able to gather. The scene is clear right now, but police that were on scene earlier told me that they got the call around 8:27 tonight. They found about 11 shell casings. They tell me that no one is injured and no objects were hit. They said, but this is still an ongoing investigation, and you can count on us to stay on top of this developing situation. John Day has been cutting hair in the same shop, same spot for more than 14 years.
You know, everything that's going on in Cedar Rapids, it can be Iowa City.
But what hasn't been the same, the recent conversations of violence in his barber chair.
See, with the shooting and everything, man, you know, it makes you think.
He says some clients claim they know who's behind some of the violence in Cedar Rapids, but won't come forward because of street code.
You know, growing up as a kid, you don't want to be labeled as being a snitch. You know, and that's the code of the streets.
He says some are afraid of retaliation, but it's the public's help the Cedar Rapids police desperately need to stop the spike in violence.
People are in fear of coming forward to provide the police department with information that is necessary to solve these crimes. But I can assure you there are ways, multiple ways, to remain anonymous.
Senseless shootings there, he says, is keeping him away. And for every person not coming forward, it's keeping police away from solving all this gun violence.
Because bullets don't have a name on it, especially, you know, if it's been shot. You know, and these guys, I'm sure they're not professional.
It's been difficult for them to wrap their heads around, but I think they understand that everyone is being very careful and thinking about it.
Sarah Barron has 2 children in the Iowa City School District and says while her children are pretty accepting of the potential change, some aren't.
My kids are okay with change, and they can manage kind of whatever change comes their way. But that's not true for every child in the district.
The district's boundary changes have been a hot topic at these meetings for several weeks after a drafted boundary map would force 2/3 of Coralville Central's elementary students to move to Kirkwood, and that is not sitting well with some parents and even some school board members.
Change things to do what's right.
Barron says the board has spent a lot of time talking about the maps and less time pushing for student achievement, but tonight she says that changed.
Parents just want to see that the school board is being conscientious about the impact that the changes are going to have on their students.
In the meeting, the board requested that the administrative team draft another set of maps that would have the least impact on students, providing an outcome that the board says will have the best benefit for students.
I was really excited to see the board tonight move away from talking about just boundaries and maps and start talking about student achievement, and I hope that they keep that up.
Now, Amanda, the first school board meeting in June is when the administrative team will present questions to the board to ensure that this next draft of the maps is the best when it comes to the students. Now, they will also plan to present those maps in the first meeting in July. You can count on us to keep you covered as the board continues to make a decision in this situation. We're live in Iowa City tonight. I'm Justin Andrews, KWWL News. Gnats.
Annoying.
They get in your ears, they bite you.
Those annoying small 2-winged insects that you probably noticed swarming the moment you stepped outside.
They're always there, and they're so small that you can't, get them away, and they like my blood.
And they like everyone else's blood, too. Entomologists at the Iowa State University Extension studies insects. They tell me they've gotten more calls than usual about gnats, the biting ones, specifically in the central and eastern part of the state. And fresh-flowing water like rivers, creeks, and streams are places those irritating insects call home.
I have an Absorbent Junior, and I've kind of used mine up. It's about time to go get some more.
Normal bug spray I don't think works.
And it doesn't. Entomologists say there's really nothing you can do to stop the pesky pest. Normal bug repellent just doesn't work. They recommend that you cover as much skin as possible and avoid being outside when the sun is out. Most biting gnats are daytime biters and love humidity.
I have 10 bites probably.
Swat them. If they're biting you in the ear, going in your mouth, you have to do something. Below the dam, down it, pretty much anywhere there's water. Try to keep them away from me, I guess, as best as possible.
Now, as I said, there's really nothing you can do about it. However, I spoke with a professional landscaper. He says he uses vanilla extract. He says he doesn't know why it works, but it does, and that's something I just might have to try. We're live on the Iowa River Landing tonight. I'm Justin Andrews, KWWL News. Well, Ron and Amanda, right now, police just left the scene not too long ago, but developments are still ongoing in this situation. But this is what we know so far. Like you mentioned, they were conducting an investigation. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office and the Division of Criminal Investigation were conducting an investigation at a home on the 1600 block of Spruce Street. Now, that's not far from the school. Now, I spoke with the superintendent, and he tells me that they locked down the school as a precautionary measure. Now, lockdown basically means no one can enter or exit the building. Now, he says that the students were, for the most part, safe, and they were letting them go about 4 at a time.
And Justin, she is not too happy how school officials handled the situation today.
Yeah, guys, get this. She says her kids will not be going to school come tomorrow morning after the way officials handled today's lockdown. She says she wasn't notified about the incident until a while after and says the whole situation was uncontrolled.
It was very, very uncontrolled.
Stephanie Peck has 2 kids who attend Mark Twain Elementary and says the way school officials handled the lockdown Wednesday, flat out ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Nobody knew what was going on.
Officials tell us the school was placed on precautionary lockdown after authorities were conducting an investigation here at the 1600 block of Spruce Court, not far from the school, when their suspect fled.
There should have been way more order to the situation. The biggest thing that I have a problem with is the kids leaving the school. The school was on lockdown. That means nobody goes in, nobody goes out.
They reacted very well. We had a lot of positive comments from parents who were very appreciative that their children were safe.
However, Peck says her kids were not safe. Her second grade son told her his class left the school to go down to the church with no coat, and she says that's all part of safety, especially in the cold.
I'm extremely furious. I don't really want to send my kids to school tomorrow or Friday. I don't want them to be there. I don't think that they're safe being there after what they went through today.
Now, Peck says she wants to make it clear that she does trust school officials here. In fact, she attended Mark Twain, but she says they absolutely had no order in today's situation. We're live in Iowa City this evening. We're live outside of the Lindell Mall in Cedar Rapids tonight. We've got you covered live in Iowa City this evening, but for now, we're live in Iowa City. We're live in Cedar Rapids tonight. We're live on the Iowa River Landing tonight. We're live in Johnson County tonight. We're live in downtown Iowa City tonight. We've got you covered live in Cedar Rapids tonight. I'm Justin Andrews, KWWL News.